supplies, hotel, those are good answers, but those miners' first choice was the saloon.
Oh, that was my third.
Yeah, so the oldest saloon around is the Red Dog Saloon just ahead of us. Now imagine you got all this gold everywhere. People are showing up from all over the world to get it. And there's not too many lawmen around, so there was probably some shady dealings and violent things going on. Legend has it that Wyatt Earp stopped here on his way north, and he helped arrest a murderer. But in his delay helping, he didn't have time to get his gun back from the marshals. So his gun is still over in the Red Dog Saloon there. Cool little side story. So they were mining that gold here for about 10 years before the placer gold started to dry up a little. And Joe Juno said, I'm going to take a hike. And he wound up going through the Chilkoot Pass into Yukon and launching the largest gold rush in history, the Yukon Gold Rush. But they kept mining around here. And over the course of 64 years, so 1880 to 1944, they found 7 million ounces of gold. So in today's money, that's about $30 trillion worth. If that's not a hard number for you to fathom, I'd like to just let you know we do accept tips here. Straight ahead of us, guys, that brown and black windowed building is the state capitol building. It has won the lackluster design every year. You'll get another glimpse of it off to the right as we go through this light. But what we lacked in design for our state capitol building, we made up for in our landmass. So if you take all the 49 state capitals' land masses and add them together, Juneau is still bigger than all of them. It's pretty cool. There's only 32,000 people that live here year-round, and we're well spread out. So Seward bought Alaska in 1867. Yeah. And everybody said, oh, that's Seward's folly, right? They thought he was a fool because he paid $7.2 million for all this worthless land. Then we got 7 million ounces of gold out of it. I'd say he made a pretty good deal. He wasn't very well liked, not by the American people and not by the native people. When he came to visit, if you look up to the right as we go through this next light, you're going to see the governor's mansion. It was built back in 1912. And so it'll have white columns. There she is. I assure you, you cannot see Russia from there. Anyhow, that building takes about $1 million to maintain each year because it has 10 toilets. Because we all know politicians are full of. We're coming up on Gold Creek over here, where they found all that gold. Pretty awesome. Just past this red building on the left, you're going to see Taku, the whale statue. There he is. So if we were to take this left and head over the bridge to Douglas Island, that's where you would find the first larger hard rock mining operation, the Treadwell mines. They actually have more miles of mining tunnels than we do roads here. 200 miles of mining tunnels. Yeah, it's extensive. They had mules that worked in the tunnels that never saw the light of day.
Are they still mining a lot?
They still mine, but not here. The last mine, the last major operation shut down in 1944 at the AJ dock, the furthest north dock. They do mine in Kensington, which is just north of here, and they've been talking about building a road since forever. It will never get built. The estimated cost to go from here just north of Kensington into the Yukon is $1 billion. It's just because of how rough all of the terrain between here and there is. The Kensington mine actually spends $2 million a year just transporting their workers by ferry to get to work every 2 weeks and off 2 weeks. It's a hefty price tag. So back in the 1970s, the salmon species went on the endangered species list. And commercial fishermen in this area were starting to really worry. And one of them, Norman Morris, took $500 out of his own pocket, slapped it in front of his friend and said, "You need to start a salmon hatchery." And his buddy said, "Okay." And he literally started the first salmon hatchery over there on Douglas Island using a kiddie pool. They cranked out about 30,000 salmon that first year, and they returned back, and they've continued to hatch salmon there ever since. Today they're pumping out 200 million baby salmon each year. If you don't know the 5 species of Pacific salmon, you can use your hand. Your thumb rhymes with chum. Your pointer will point your eye out for sockeye. Your middle finger is king because it's the biggest. Your ring finger is silver, and your pinky finger is pink. It's pretty amazing that those salmon are born in a stream. They leave anywhere from 4 to 7 years roughly before coming back and travel all over the world and go right back to that same stream that they were spawned in. Pretty incredible. We do have a healthy population of black bears around in Juneau. You can see them wandering through town on occasion. You can see them anywhere. We're about to kind of break out of the developed area into Lemon Valley, carved out by the Lemon Glacier. And it's pretty often we see wildlife, so we want to keep a good eye out as we trek along. Just past this light ahead is Salmon Creek, so be looking down in the creek. You might see some stuff. There's usually some predators hanging out, looking for salmon lunch. This is it right here. Okay, I see a couple of them up ahead on this light pole. Those are bald eagles. Those are both mature bald eagles, it looks like. Another one over here, there, on that side. We have the densest population of bald eagles on Earth here. They say there's at least one mating pair for every mile of coastline, at least. They're really cool birds. If you were to take the larger eagles and spread their wings across this windshield, they would drape off of both sides. It's got about an 8-foot wingspan. They like to mate for life, and the 2 mates will continue adding to their nest for their whole lifespan, which in some extreme cases has been near 40 years. And so the largest nest on record was down in St. Petersburg, Florida, and it weighed 4,400 something pounds, over 2 tons. I call them the master builders of the birds. There's a juvenile over there. You can tell the juveniles because they still have their baby feathers. Their head still has the brown feathers. There's one flying up towards the next creek. Oh, there's a couple of them. So they live here year-round, but they'll migrate up a little bit to Haines at the end of summer for the last salmon run. They call it